How to get the best tax sale lists. Hi, my name is Julia M. Spencer. I'm a real estate advisor, investor, and your #1 source for real estate advice online. And thanks for having tuned into my YouTube channel here. If you're not a subscriber, make sure you hit that bell there at the bottom. That's how it works with YouTube, that you'll get notification of all my new videos that I post. And thank you for following me if you've followed me before, and thanks for leaving comments and interacting and asking questions, because that's what makes my channel grow and flourish, I guess. So in my channel we discuss anything and everything related to real estate investing, and that is the real world of real estate investing, not the fake stuff you see on TV. And I also have a radio show, so make sure you check that out. I'll give the info in the bottom there of my video, and make sure you subscribe on my website. It's at the bottom of this video. That's my website. Subscribe there, you get a newsletter, and also that's how you get your free guide to real estate investing. And let's get to this question I received from one of you subscribers and customers that have purchased my ebooks. Because I think this is a very important one, and it deals with how to get the best tax sale lists. So here's the message. I'm just going to read it to you and then I'm going to answer it. I recently purchased one of your books talking about tax lien foreclosures in Georgia, and I was struggling to get the tax lists in some counties around Greater Atlanta. DeKalb and Gwinnett County Tax Office said they're only having a sale in April. Gwinnett said they post their list on the Gwinnett Daily Post now, and they don't publish lists. Clayton County website showed the next sale in February, and I've been struggling to get info about tax sale happenings too in Fulton, Cobb, and Fayette County. So her question is, do you have a source of where you can find tax sale lists around Atlanta? Can you share it with me, and shouldn't there be a tax sale every month? And I wanted to attend the sale happening in January because I was hoping by April I can make a purchase. I'm mostly interested in properties I can keep, preferably a fixer-upper. I live in a rental at the moment. I'm tired of paying rent. Good thinking. And would love to get out of the rental cycle. So what advice do you have for me? And any sale you know of happening in January? So, okay, let's address these questions one at a time, and let's just go one by one. So, this subscriber, customer, thanks for asking the question, very good question, lives around a metropolitan area, a big metropolitan area. What I usually do I'm kind of cautious about going to the big cities. Atlanta is actually not that big of a city in terms of inhabitants. I think there's maybe only 500,000 or so. So it's not like super big. However, there's a lot of real estate sharks that operate around the Atlanta area. So you're going to have a lot of competition. So if you're just focusing there and you're not focusing anywhere else, you're going to have a really difficult time making progress. And you might drive yourself into a situation where you get frustrated and you're just going to quit altogether. The first question, let me just answer the questions. The first question here is, how do you find a tax sale list? But you're doing the exact right thing already. You've already contacted the county tax sale office. They told you when their dates are. One of them, Gwinnett, I believe, already also said that they're publishing the tax sale list in the paper, and actually should all publish it in the legal organ, in the legal paper of that county. Every county has one, and they may not have a list to give you. In my previous videos I always talk about here in Chatham County and Savannah, they do actually give out a list if you go there in person. They won't email it to you or send it to you. In their case, they actually post it online, but it's kind of outdated as well because people walk in every day and pay off their properties, so the list is not always up to date. But it's also published in the paper because legally in the state of Georgia they have to advertise it for at least 4 weeks. So you're doing the exact same thing. If you received, like say from Gwinnett County, you received a statement that they're posting it in the Gwinnett Daily Post. Now just remember that every county has to publish the list in the paper, and it has to be the legal paper of that county, and every county has one, just one. It's not, sometimes it's not the most popular newspaper, and it's the actual newspaper that's actually published in writing and actually distributed and sold. And so you have to, seriously? Okay, this is my kitty. He sometimes gets into the videos, and I think he really, really wants to be in this video, so I'm sorry. Anyways, I will edit this video. But what I was gonna say is, you're doing the exact right thing. You need to grab yourself a calendar. You need to write down these dates. So you said there's one in April, there's one in February, there might be something in March. Go to other counties. Go branch out even further. Go further south. Go to Macon maybe. Go up north maybe, over there by Helena. I don't know what county that is. And start branching out. I mean, it's your goal to do this research. It's not your goal, but your goal obviously is to make money with real estate, tax sale investing, but it's your purpose and how to get there is to do this research. So as many counties as you can get on that schedule and schedule yourself for, that's what you have to do. And I always tell my students to schedule yourself for 6 sales in the next 6 months. Don't do any less than that, because you're going to get out of it. You're going to need to be able to remember what you learned from one sale to the next, and if they're too far apart, you're just going to forget half the stuff. And you're doing the exact right thing. There is no one website that has all the tax sales in it. The best bet you have is the newspapers for each county. So that answers that question. And the next question was, shouldn't there be a tax sale every month? So this is what I discovered here in the state of Georgia. The tax commissioners and the tax officials that conduct these auctions actually have a lot of discretion and ability to make the choices of when the tax sale happened. By law, they can have one every month. It's first Tuesday of the month in the state of Georgia. Legal hours 10 to 4, but if they want to cancel it, they can cancel it. If they want to have one a year, they just can have one a year. If they don't want one for 2 or 3 years, that's their choice. These are elected officials in most cases, so you know, the only power we have for them to make them have the sale is by electing them or not electing them. It's kind of it kind of ties your hands a little bit. What I've learned from some graybeard investors is that they have actually researched the back taxes for certain properties. You can actually go into some websites and find out which properties have not paid taxes in 2 or 3 years. And if there hasn't been a sale in that county for 2 or 3 years, you can take that list to the officials there and say, hey, why are you not having a sale? Why are you not collecting this money? This money could be used in this county to do roads and help schools when you're not doing it. So you can kind of force their hand with it, but it's still their decision. So what I've found is in a lot of the smaller counties, they won't have a sale every month. And even in the big counties here in Atlanta, they kind of focus on having it only a couple times a year because they don't want to go through all the effort. Maybe they have a lot of properties, so they don't want to like every month have to advertise and spend the money on the advertising and setting up the sale and getting the paperwork together and sending. Of course, they have to send the letters to the owners as well that there's going to be a sale happening. I mean, that all costs money too. So they decide, well, we're only going to have one huge sale once a year or one huge sale every 3 months. It's kind of their own discretion. So it's kind of the point is they can have a sale every month and they're allowed to, but if they choose to cancel it, that's up to them and there's nothing you can do. And I've seen it many times right here in Chatham County, even where people are prepared for the sales, have done all the research, all the due diligence, they came to the sale, and once they got there, the tax commissioner just decides to cancel it right then and there, which is very frustrating because you've done all this work and it was for nothing. So anyways, your work is not ever for nothing. Make sure you keep your lists and your research, because a lot of times these properties appear at later times on the tax sale lists again and again. So a lot of times that saves me a lot of time when I go through the lists. I'm like, okay, I've seen this property before, I've been there, I've driven there before, so I don't need to examine it in such great detail a second time because I've already done that. A sale happening in January. So a lot of times, because what you're dealing with is that people are losing their properties at a tax sale. A lot of times because they fell on hard times, they can't pay for that, for their for the taxes for that year, or maybe previous years. Maybe they had some misfortune in the family, or legal expenses, or maybe some sort of medical issue, and just fell on hard times, can't pay the taxes. So this is very taxing time, I guess, for them. This is a very difficult time for the original owners. So a lot of tax commissioners these days, this is kind of the trend that I've seen over the years, is they will cancel December and January sales for that reason, because they basically give people a break. A lot of times they will also not bring a property to auction if the amount is below a certain threshold, which also the tax commissioners and government officials set. So, and also if they don't meet the threshold of how many properties they're actually going to auction off for that time, they're just going to cancel the sale. So basically say, well, if we don't have at least 50 properties to sell, then we're just not going to have the sale, because it's not worth it for us to stand outside and cry out these properties, which takes a lot of effort in following the procedure. They're just save them for the next time. So, and that pretty much answers the question. You're doing the right thing. If you're looking and talking to the tax sale officials, talk to them. The information is not going to be readily available on some website where you can just download it. For the Atlanta area, it doesn't work that way. You have to go through each county individually. You have to talk to the county officials. You have to ask them, where's your list and what paper. And also, if you do get the name of that paper, you have to ask what date of the week they publish legals. You can ask the paper themselves. You can call them. So there's a lot of running around, a lot of talking, a lot of research that has to be done. This is all preparatory work, due diligence work prior to even ever going to an auction. And you're doing the right thing. You're preparing yourself for this. And this all is going to help you in the future. It all accumulates to your knowledge base and what you can do in the future. It's going to help you maybe generate some shortcuts for certain counties in the future as well. For example, some counties may have a list on their website, so you don't have to worry about talking to anybody. You just go at a certain time, set yourself a schedule when that list is going to be published online, and just go there then. The same with the papers. You know, you can a lot of times subscribe to the papers so that they're actually mailed to you whenever the legals come out that day of the week. And that's the best you can do. That's exactly what you're doing is the right thing. Just stick with it. You know, it's all about persistence and discipline and scheduling yourself and showing up for the sales. So that's my best advice to you. I hope this was helpful, and make sure you subscribe at my website for your free guide to real estate investing if you haven't yet. Check out my ebooks at the bottom of this video, and check out my radio shows on Wednesdays at noon. You can stream it online from anywhere in the world, wruu.org, and in the local Savannah area, 107.5 FM. And I look forward to hear from you and hear your suggestions, comments, and criticisms right at the bottom of this video. So make sure you leave one. Have a great day.
For your free guide to real estate investing, visit juliamspencer.com.